here. This is your workout for Tuesday, March 24th. Question of the day today is, if you could, for one day only, travel 100 years into the future or 100 years into the past, which would you choose? Future or past? Comment below. Your workout today, there's three components to it. You've got your warm-up, take about 15 minutes there, your strength, which is another 15 minutes or so, and then we've got an 18-minute conditioning piece at the end. So starting from the top in your warm-ups, we're going through 3 rounds of 10 sumo stance alternating toe touches, a little stretching there, 10 alternating Cossacks, 30-second object overhead holds, and 30-second of Russian twists. So from the top, that sumo stance alternating toe touches. Sumo stance means wide stance. You're gonna have your hands out, rotate to one side, rotate to the other side, a little rotation, and stretch through the posterior chain. From there, you'll go into your Cossack. So Cossack squats is a lateral lunge, lunging over to one side and to the other side. As you do this, make sure your weight stays in your heels, so you're sitting into your hip, coming down and going the other way. If you have a light dumbbell or kettlebell or a wall ball even, you might choose to hold that to weigh it a little bit as you go through your warm-up. So 10 alternating Cossacks, 5 each side. 30-second object overhead. So we do have some pressing in both your strength and conditioning today. So you're going to hold an object for 30 seconds up overhead. So in this overhead position, you're looking for your elbows to be locked out. You're looking for your shoulders to be extended. Make sure you're not overarching your lower back. So think about pulling your rib cage down and keeping a nice tight core position overhead. You can use a medicine ball. We can use a dumbbell. Hold that up overhead. If you want to do 30 seconds with one side, 30 seconds with the other side, you could do that. You can also use a kettlebell. So you'll just pop your kettlebell up overhead, and you can hold it either 2 hands, 1 hand at a time, but 30 seconds warm up your overhead position for the work to come. So that's, and then the last thing is going to be 30 seconds of Russian twists. Russian twists, you'll be on your mat or on your floor. Hang on to something. This can be a medicine ball, dumbbell, kettlebell, can of soup. It can be a bottle of Windex. It can be a detergent bottle, whatever you got, and then you're alternating side to side for 30 seconds of Russian twists. If you are using a dumbbell, you can hold that side to side, alternating Russian twists for 30 seconds. Warm up those abdominals a little bit. So 4 different movements for your warm-up today. You'll go through that 3 times. So your sumo stance alternating toe touches, Cossacks, and then you've got your object overhead, warming up your shoulders, and then your Russian twists, warming up the core. All right, so that's part uno, your warm-up. Dos is going to be your strength component. This one, 5 sets, 2 different movements, and you're gonna rest minimally between your sets. So you're kind of working up a sweat here, as well as doing some strength. Again, be creative in terms of what you're using for this work. The first thing is gonna be 8 to 10 single arm push presses. The second is 10 to 12 single arm suitcase deadlifts. So if I'm using a dumbbell, 8 to 10 single arm, dip, drive, push press, each side. Try and hang out for a second with that dumbbell or kettlebell or whatever overhead, so you make sure you get full extension up overhead. And then after I do 8 to 10, I'm doing 10 to 12 suitcase deadlifts, so feet underneath my hips, keeping my back nice and flat. I'm gonna come down, touch the head of the dumbbell over the kettlebell to the side of my foot, and then stand. So from the side, notice that my back stays nice and flat. I'm hinging bending my knees. Initiate every rep with a hip hinge, meaning sending your hips back while your back stays nice and flat. Same thing with a kettlebell. So if I'm going up overhead with my kettlebell, I will dip and drive to do my push presses, and then come down and do my suitcase deadlifts off to the side. All right, again, if you have a duffel bag full or a backpack, you can do this as two-handed, dip, drive up overhead, and then you can hang on to that duffel bag to the side, and you can do your single arm suitcase deadlifts with your backpack or odd object of some sort, all right? So 5 sets there. You got 8 to 10 on the shoulder to overhead, and then 10 to 12 on the deadlifts, all right? After that, your next piece is gonna be conditioning. This conditioning is a variation on a CompTrain at-home workout that we recently saw from Ben Bergeron. 3 rounds, 1 minute at each station. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different stations, and then your 6th station is 1 minute of rest. Your score for this workout is going to be the total repetitions that you accumulate throughout the course of the workout. All right, so one big number at the end is going to be your score. First station, you'll spend 1 minute single arm thrusters. Single arm thrusters, then single arm power cleans in the 2nd minute. Lateral hops over the object that you're using in the 3rd minute. Single arm push press in the 4th minute, and then legs over the object in the 5th minute, and then again, you'll rest in that 6th minute. Do it again 3 times total. For any of the single arm movements, so the thrusters, the power cleans, and the push press, that means you're doing 30 seconds with one side, 30 seconds with the other side. If you're using, let's say, a medicine ball, or a duffel bag, or a backpack, you can do 1 minute using both hands. So if I'm holding a duffel bag and I'm doing duffel bag thrusters, I've got that duffel bag in my front rack, I'm coming down, going all the way up overhead. Same thing with the backpack, all right, instead of doing single arm. You can also use like a detergent bottle, you can front rack that and do a single arm detergent bottle thruster there. Okay, so let's go through with a dumbbell. I'll show this, but you can do the same thing with a kettlebell. And again, just get creative with whatever implement you have available. For the single arm thrusters, which is station 1, 30 seconds with one side, 30 seconds with the other side. So staying in your heels, hip crease below the top of your knee, and then you're pressing up overhead, full extension overhead. After that 30 seconds, you'll switch to the other side. Keep counting your reps. Again, you'll need 1 number at the end of this workout. Second thing is going to be power clean. So power clean, single arm all the way from the floor up into your front rack. So little hip extension, and then drop under. 30 seconds with one side, 30 seconds with the other side for those thrusters. If you are using, let's say, for the power cleans, if you're using a medicine ball, you have a medicine ball at home. For the thrusters, you'll do 1 minute with the thrusters, medicine ball in the front rack, squat, and press. So you'll do a thruster with the medicine ball. For the power cleans, you'll start here, 1 minute, jump, drop, get your elbows around for your power cleans with your medicine ball. That would be similar to using a backpack or a duffel bag as well. That'll work well there. Okay, the third minute is the lateral hops over your object. So if I'm using a dumbbell, in my 3rd minute, I'm gonna set it up so that I'm lateral to my dumbbell. I'm gonna hop over and back, over and back. Watch your footing on these. If you're not comfortable jumping laterally, you can do a little kind of bunny hop, back and forth. Just make sure that you have enough clearance with your feet as you're jumping laterally over your object. Again, that object can be a kettlebell, a dumbbell, a medicine ball will be kind of high, but choose something that's going to allow you to jump back and forth and get that lateral side-to-side metabolic stimulus. Okay, fourth thing, single arm push press. Single arm push press, which is what we're doing in your strength as well, so that should be warmed up. Dip drive, 30 seconds with one side, 30 seconds with the other side. If you choose to use a medicine ball, you'll do 1 minute, little dip, and drive. So that's your medicine ball push press. Same thing with the duffel bag, same thing with the backpack, okay? And then the last thing is gonna be your legs over the object. So this one, if I'm using, let's say, a kettlebell, that's what I have available here. I'll put that kettlebell out in front of me, and I'm going up and over my object. So using my core to help me move my legs up and over. And then, as I mentioned, that 6th minute is going to be 1 minute of rest, which you'll earn after working for 5 total minutes. And then you'll repeat that, so you get a total of 3 rounds. The full conditioning piece takes 18 minutes, all right? So, again, get creative with what you have. You can even use a bumper plate. So if I have a bumper plate, I can do my thrusters all the way down and up overhead. Okay, I can do my lateral hops up and over the bumper plate. You can do a power clean. And then whatever else is included, all right? So that's your workout. That's for Tuesday, March 25th. Again, we'll have 3 classes today, virtual classes online through Zoom, 9 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and then 6:30 p.m. again, and we'll be back tomorrow with Wednesday's work, all right? Keep up the great work. Let us know if you have any questions. You guys are all doing really well. Loving watching your videos on Facebook. See you later.